I am recording now. Okay. So what we need to find here, we're going to find the tension or compression AB and AD. Anybody remember what we assume everything's in to begin with? Not zero. We assume it's either in tension or compression. Tension. And when it's in tension, we draw the forces away from the point. Does that kind of make sense to everybody?
You do that intentionally, though, right?
We do that intentionally. We draw them in tension away. Good job, Will. All right. Okay. The which we're going to need to break one of these down to components, like x, y, and y components. Which one is that going to be? Do you guys think? Try again. AB. AB is at an angle here, so it's not like in the horizontal or vertical direction. So we'll need to break it down to horizontal and vertical components. So it doesn't matter where you draw this. So that'll be A, B, Y. And this will be A, B, X. Does that make sense to everybody? And then this angle right here would be 40 degrees. Everybody understand why that's 40 degrees? It's this angle's 40, so that angle has to be 40. Yeah. There is a theorem for that. All right. Which one of these is, or which direction do we only have one unknown? In the x direction, we have F1, AD, and ABX. How many unknowns are there? 2. We know F1. We don't know AD or ABX. In the y direction, we have F2 and ABY. How many unknowns do we have? Just one. So we want to start in the y direction, right? All right. So we're going to say summation of forces in the y direction equals. What are our forces in the y direction? F2 and ABY. It is not negative. That's an equal sign. It's just kind of poor resolution. All right. And those are both positive y. They're both going up, right? Okay, and that equals 0. So we're going to say 505 plus ABY equals 0. So ABY equals negative 505 pounds. Questions on what we did there? Alright, so what we're going to do now is we need to use this to find AB. Are we going to use sine or cosine to find AB if we have ABY? Sine. So we're going to say sine 40 equals opposite ABY over hypotenuse, which is just AB. That equals negative 505 divided by AB. And we get AB equals negative 505 divided by sine 40. And what does AB equal? Let's say 786 pounds. All right, that's negative. So does that mean it's in tension or compression? Compression. So we're going to say, first thing we're going to do though, is we're going to switch the direction of the arrows. So if you ever get any like AB or AD, if you get it as negative, you want to switch the direction that all the arrows are pointing. Just for that one. So we're going to have AB point that way, ABY now points down, ABX points left. Does that make sense to everybody what I did there? Alright, and now we're going to drop the negative and say AB equals 786 pounds compression. Alright, do you guys have any questions about that first part? Are you in radian degree or radian or degree mode? Alright. Make sure you're in degree mode for these problems, by the way. That'll be important. Alright. So now we're going to solve for AD, and what direction are we going to use? AD. So we still start out thinking that one's in tension. And if you look at like what ABX was, it makes sense that it has to be the opposite direction. It has to be going left because this was going right. This one has to be going opposite left for them to add up to 0. So to find AD, we're going to use the x direction. So we're going to say, first thing we want to find is ABX. So we'll say ABX. Are we going to use sine or cosine to find ABX? Cosine. So it's going to be cosine. Oops. Cosine 40 times AB equals cosine. Can I draw a 4? Times AB, which is 786 pounds. And we don't, once we switch the arrows, you put the negative sign with the 786 anymore. Does everybody understand that? Yeah. Right. So what does ABX equal? 602. Alright, now change this to a different color since we're doing a different thing. Summation of forces in the x direction is going to equal what? It's going to equal 0, but what are the forces in the x direction? For 0. Is ABX going to be positive or negative? Negative because it's pointing to the left. What about F1? Positive or negative? Positive, so plus F1. What about AD? Positive or negative? Positive, so plus AD equals 0. Any questions on that setup there?
Did you switch like ADX with ABX? Because like when we were solving for like AB, are those ADY and ADX?
This is ABY and ABX. So AD doesn't have any x or y components, it just has an x component. Did my handwriting bad?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's okay. It's beautiful and simple.
Oh, those are B's?
Yeah.
Up here?
Yeah.
Those are B's. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got ABX is negative 602 plus F1 is 130 plus AD equals 0. So we get AD equals 602 minus 130. And what do we get AD equal? Is that compression or tension? Tension.
Is it like when we label left and right, you want us to label tension and compression?
Yep, I would like you to label them tension or compression. Alright, any questions on this problem? Alright, how do you guys feel about this one? Not bad? Alright, so let's try one more together, then I'll have you do a couple on your own. More complicated. Now we have AD as a given value, and it's tension. So does that mean it's going to be pointing up or down for AD? Up. And then we're assuming everything is in tension still, so BD and CD are pointing away. Which one of these are we going to have to break into components? BD. And there's no really convenient place to draw it, so I'm just going to kind of draw it out right here. So we're going to say that's BDX and BDY. That angle is 31 degrees. Does that make sense what I did to break it down into components there? So it doesn't really matter where you draw those arrows. I just draw them wherever is most convenient. Alright. So in what direction do we have only one unknown this time? So we don't know CD, we don't know BDX, and we don't know BDY. Do we have one unknown in the X or Y direction? Y. So we need to start with the Y direction again. So So let's say summation of forces in the y direction. What are our y direction forces? AD. Is that going to be positive or negative? Positive. F2, positive or negative? And what else? Positive or negative? And if you see everything is positive and they add up to 0, what does that probably mean? One of them is going to end up being negative. So we'll probably end up having to switch the BD stuff. Alright, so AD is 229 or 299 plus F2 is 380 plus BDY equals 0. So BDY equals negative 679. Right? Alright. So any questions how I get to that? Alright, now we're going to find BD. And are we going to use sine or cosine? Yep. So sine 31 equals opposite. So negative 679 divided by BD. So I rearrange that. We get BD equals negative 679 divided by sine 31. And what do we get for BD? Negative 1318 pounds. So what does it mean we need to do? Flip the arrows. So we'll erase that guy, erase that guy, erase that guy. So this is now pointing that way. That one's going that way. BDY is going down. And then, is that in tension or compression? That's one of our answers. Now that's the other one we still need to find. CD. So first thing, usually when we're going to do, go to the x direction to find CD. We'll find BDX first, so we don't have to do it within the problem. So we're going to say cosine 31 equals BDX over BD. Everybody okay with that? So you get cosine 31 times BD, which is 1318, equals BDX. And what do we get for BDX? 1130 sound good? Alright. So our last step here, summation of forces in the x direction. What are our forces in the x direction? F1. Is F1 positive or negative? Negative. So negative F1 plus CD negative BDX.
Is it negative because BD's compression?
It's negative because the BD axis is pointing left. So like when we switch that, now BD axis is pointing left, so we're making everything left negative, everything right positive. So we get negative 305 plus CD minus 1130 equals 0. So CD equals 305 plus 1130. What does CD equal? Tension or compression? Tension. Oops. Those are our two answers. Any questions on that one? Alright, I'd like you guys to do, there are two other problems in the Moodle document. I'd like you to do, they're pretty similar, so I'd like you to do at least one here. You can do the other for homework if you want. When you're done with that, you can work on your bridges, and I'll be around to help you as you need.